15 minutes. I'm going to do a real quick overview of RaceCycler, how it works, how it operates, all the mechanics, and what makes the machine move. And then at the end of this, within the last few minutes, I'm going to show you how the board split for some of you guys that have already been involved here for a while. Let me start off first of all. What you're looking at here is the back office. Very, very simple to get to. Just type in your username and password. As soon as you log in, this is the first screen that pops up. Just going to go through a few things on here so that you guys kind of understand what's going on. In your overview section, what you're going to see, this is actually my back office. You'll see my sponsor. My sponsor was Crew Chief. Over here to the right where my cursor is, you're going to see a link. That's the link that I send out to the people that want to get started here. You can just copy and paste this, put it into an email. You can send it to somebody, and they click on the link. It takes them right to a sign-up screen. Very, very simple to use. The number of sign-ups, these are the personal enrollees that I've personally referred. So you can see that I've got 28 people that I've personally referred or made sales to, and they have got started here. The points acquired, I've got 153 points that can be converted over to cash. I just haven't chosen to withdraw that out yet. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see overview and update. This kind of changes on a daily, maybe a weekly basis, just different things that are going on with the RaceCycler. What you're looking at now is our RaceCycler Leadership Travel Program. For those that qualify for that, if you have 10 personal referrals that you come within a certain qualification period, hey guys, you get a free trip. It's just kind of icing on the cake there. So all these new updates and things coming along there. I'm going to click on a few things here just so that you guys can see what your back office is all about. If you come down here to payout, this will show you your payout section. This is where you make your request for your earnings. You can see the 153 points that I've acquired right there. If I wanted to withdraw those, very, very simple. I just come right over here to the drop-down window, click on either Payza or Solid Trust Pay. As long as I've got that e-wallet set up and I'm verified to receive the funds that I request, that's going to show up during the payout period, which is Thursday through Sunday. Now, I will say that most people are paid on Thursday and worst case, by Friday. There are a few stragglers that come in at the last minute, though, and that's why they extended this payout period, so that it extends all the way from Thursday through Sunday. Your payout request from Monday through Wednesday, you'll see the times right there at the top right-hand corner of your screen. I'll scroll down a little bit, show you some things about STP. There's some language down here. Just to let you guys know that you always want to make sure that you're requesting what you're verified to receive. In fact, if you're only verified to receive $250 a day, that's all you can request per day. If you're verified to receive more than that, then obviously you can request more. That's an STP thing. That's all within the e-wallet. It has nothing to do with RaceCycler, but just some language there to kind of explain that to you. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see some of the payouts. You can see some of mine there, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000 on down the list there. Just kind of gives you dates and times of the money that you've taken out and what you've earned there. But this, again, is all on your payout screen. Let's talk about some of the products. We don't talk about the products a whole lot. The earnings here are so great. Let's talk about some of the products that we have. RaceCycler is a seller of ebooks and downloadable software. That's what we do here. They're constantly adding new things into the back office. In fact, about a week or so ago, they just added 4 new items. I just got word today that they're actually going to be adding some more items that are going to be showing up possibly by tomorrow. Let me hit on a couple of these. There's a couple that I really like right here. Number one, how Facebook advertising benefits your business. Facebook is a great social media for connecting with people and getting them involved in things that earn money. We can all use some more income and some more money coming in. So there's some great things there. One of the best things, guys, I'll tell you this, is winning over difficult people in your life. I would highly, highly recommend that everybody click on that, download it, and read it. I can tell you without any hesitation, probably 14, maybe 15 the people that I personally enrolled, I was able to get those people because of what I learned with that winning over difficult people in your life. Just some very valuable information there. Again, all of this stuff is included with your $230 purchase. That's a one-time fee. There's no UPS guy going to be dropping off anything at your house. There's no monthly fees, no website fees. It's a one-time $230 purchase. They're always adding new items that are going to be popping up into your back office. So you can just kind of get you a little taste there of just what comes with that $230. If you look over here on your settings, you'll see this is where you update your personal information. You see first and last name, your email address. If you want to change your password, always make sure that you click that update button down there at the bottom. That will make sure that everything gets updated. And that's kind of the ins and outs of your back office. Very simple. There are a lot of tabs up here at the front. Home, About Us, Policies, Refunds, the FAQ section. Great section there. Got a lot of questions that a lot of people have. All of the answers are found right there in the FAQ section, so make sure that you click on that. Let's talk about the boards. How does this whole thing work? What makes this whole machine operate? We have 2 boards. It's a 2x2 that feeds into another 2x2. The first one's called a national circuit. The second one is called a grand national circuit. Here's the way that the boards work. We'll talk about these flags and the colors here in just a second. What you're seeing is an actual board. This is my board that I'm currently on right now. My username is RevRev180. You'll see Victory Lane there at the top. You'll see a good buddy of mine, Michael Makeson, a personal sponsor of mine over there to the left, and then some friend of mine from Hawaii, Kanani, down there on the 4 line. All of these people have cycled through. They've all made at least $2,200. Some of them have made more than that, but they've all made at least $2,200 here in a very short time. The flags just simply represent how many sales that you have made. For example, if you have a checkered flag, it means that you've made 2 sales or more. If you have a white flag, it means that you've made 1 sale. If you have a green flag, it generally means that you've just gotten started and haven't made any sales. Now, we don't have a jump feature in the cycler program, and that's one of the things I really love about this, is because nobody can be jumped. Nobody can be passed up. You're going to move up in concession just with your team. It's a follow your sponsor system. I'll explain how the boards work and why certain people are going certain directions and all that good stuff here as we wrap up this webinar. But what I want you guys to know is how this works at the starting gate. It works very simply. When a person joins, they spend $230. They click the link. They've gotten all those products in their back office. They just simply download those products. They can use those products however they want to. But when a person joins, they always start off on a national board. That's the board that you're looking at now. They will always start off on the 4 lines. That's the bottom row right here. We call that the 4 lines, the 2 lines right above that, and then the pay lines at the top. So here's how it works. Let's just say that, let's say, I'll use myself for example. Let's say that Rev 180 decides to go out and sponsor someone. If they were to sponsor someone right now, I'm not talking about they, it's actually me. If I were to sponsor someone, they would fall in one of those available empty positions, starting from the left to the right. So if I were to sponsor someone, they would actually land in the position where my cursor is right now. And then if they were to sponsor someone, they would land into the next available position. Now, as you can see, that everybody on my board, these are all personal sponsors of mine. They all have checkered flags. They all do exactly what I teach them to do, which is maximize the pay plan. So as I start to talk about some of the earnings that you can make here, I'm going to talk in the fashion of being fully qualified. There's no sense in leaving money sitting on the table, so everybody needs to be fully qualified. That just simply means that you go out and make 2 or more sales. Those people that you refer can do the exact same thing as well. That's what I would teach my team to do, and that's what I would encourage you to teach your team to do. So the way that this board works is as people are joining here, and these people can come from anywhere. They can come from, in fact, I get this question a lot. Where do the people come from? I mean, the people that fill up my board, where are those people coming from? Well, they're coming from personal sponsors that either you have, people that are following you that have already gotten enrolled into the program. They may get spillover. Maybe you're the lowest number board, and that's bringing people into the program. But that's the way the program works. So whenever a person joins, they land on the 4 line. As that 4 line fills up, everybody advances and moves up to the next line. Then the 4 line opens up again. New people can join the program. Your sponsors that you have enrolled, they will follow you and go through the system. Now, here's what I need people to understand, and this is how the money works. Because this is, let's be honest with you guys. I mean, this is why we all do this, so we can earn income. Victory Lane, for example. Victory Lane is on what we call the pay line. Victory Lane is a personal sponsor of mine. You'll see that I'm right over here, Rev 180. That can be confusing to people. Well, why in the world, if you sponsor Victory Lane, is he above you and you're below him? You're going to understand that once I get through some of these other PowerPoints that I do here. But Victory Lane's here at the pay line. Kanani, you can see, has landed on the 4 line. Victory Lane has a checkered flag, so that just simply means whenever somebody hits one of these available empty positions on the 4 line, Victory Lane then makes 50 points, which can then be converted over to $50 in cash that he can now extract and receive in his withdrawals through Payzer or STP. Those are the 2 payment processors that we use. So even though he doesn't know Kanani, even though he didn't sponsor Kanani, even though he has no idea where Kanani came from, Victory Lane still makes $50. When the next person lands there, guess what? Victory Lane's going to make another $50. When the next person lands, they make another $50. And when the next person lands, they make their final $50. So you can see, and it's easy math to do, once you rotate off the national board, you have now made $200. You spent $230 in the purchase to get started here. Now you've made $200. Now you're going to advance to what's called the Grand National Board. And I'll explain to you what the Grand National Board, I'll show you some PowerPoints on that as well so you understand how that works. That's where the real money starts to get earned. I will say this about the program. It's probably one of the, I would say, the simplest program that I've ever been involved with. I've done a lot of things over the years. I've 6 years full-time in this industry, this crazy business industry we call network marketing or multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. But in the last 6 years, some of the things I've done, the lotions and potions, shake mixes, diet drink mixes, the internet, cell phone service, satellite TV, whatever it may be, it usually required home meetings, super Saturdays, conventions, trainings, just trying to keep people motivated. The thing I love about cyclers is they are just so simple. They are just so simple to do. Anybody can get involved with something like this and go out and create an income. For some of us, it's a surplus income in addition to what we're already doing on our current jobs. For many of us, in fact, a lot of people, it is our income, and it's what produces, how we keep bills paid. And it can be extremely lucrative for you if you learn the program and learn how to do it and take advantage of it. It does require work. It does require effort. I don't want anybody to think that you're going to spend $230 here, sign up, and get rich overnight. It's not going to happen. it's just not going to happen. I mean, but if you go out and you apply the effort and get your little team started, start teaching them how to do the same thing, it can be very lucrative for you guys. But that is our program. That's how it works. It's a great little program. It's paying a lot of people. In fact, today, at the time of this webinar, here in September 20th, something, I'm not sure what the date is, but here we've paid out over $1 million in points. That's pretty substantial for a company that's just starting up out of the gate. And the proof is there. I mean, the program works. The system is in place to work and be effective for a lot of people. So that's how our program works, and that's what it is. Now, the latter part of this webinar, I wanted to kind of explain to you guys how these boards work. There's a lot of confusion out there, and people are wondering, well, I don't quite understand, why my person didn't follow me, why they didn't come to, where I was supposed to be and all that good stuff. So hopefully the next few slides will actually explain that to you. What you're actually seeing on your screen right there is actually the pace card, and a lot of you guys have not had a chance to see that, so I wanted you guys to have a visualization and see exactly what the pace card looks like. So when it does land on your board, you'll know that, hey, the pace card has landed on your board. But let me kind of go through this, the national boards and the Grand National boards, to explain to you how these boards work. The first one is going to be a perfect world scenario of how the boards work and how they advance forward. We're just going to take this simple example here. We've got Racer at the top. They have a checkered flag. Again, that just means they sponsor 2 people or more. You have Go to Race, who has a green flag. Then, of course, you have the pace car. Now, let me talk a little bit about the pace car. The pace car is it's the lead position for the company. Every single person in the entire company follows the pace car. Works just like the NASCAR races that we see every Sunday on TV. Everybody follows the pace car when they're led out on the track. So just keep that in mind. But don't rely on the pace car to get you rich. It just simply means that's the username that everybody is following as they advance through the boards. Now, the pace car always seeks out and looks for the oldest numbered board in the company. And I understand everybody thinks they're on the oldest numbered board, but the pace car always seeks out the oldest numbered board in the company, and it goes in order. If there's an available position on the 4 line, that is where the pace car is going. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through these screens. But anyway, let's go with what we've got on the screen right here. Let's just say in this particular scenario that Racer goes out and sponsors maybe a 3rd person. They've already gotten 2. They already have a checkered flag, but they decided, hey, if there's more money to be made, I might as well go share this with a couple more people. So Racer goes out and shares this with one other person. We'll call that person Team Fun. When that person joins, they're going to land on the national board that Racer is on. You can see that just happened on your screen. Team Fun is there, and they now have a green flag. Team Fun decides that they want to go out and share this with somebody. So they go out and they share it with Mustang. That's the username of the person that just joined the board. They landed in the first available spot, left to right, on the 4 line of the national board. Team Fun's flag has now turned white. This happens the moment that the person makes their purchase. So now as this starts to advance forward, we can see that Go to Race is starting to wake up. Go to Race goes out and sponsors someone, and we'll call that person Fun. They now have a green flag filling the next available spot, left to right, which is the 3rd position on the 4 line, and now Go to Race has a white flag. The next person to join is Rev 180, and I'm just kind of throwing myself in there, using myself as an example, sponsored by Go to Race. So now Go to Race has a checkered flag. Go to Race is fully qualified to make all of the income that can be made here. The board is now full. So what happens now? Okay, there's a lot of things that take place here, and programmers have worked 6, 7, 8 months to make all of this happen. Let what they programmed happen. Let take that to your advantage and use that to your advantage. Let what they've done do what it's supposed to do, and let's just all go do what we're supposed to do. So anyway, the board is filled up now. The board is going to split. Racer is going to go to the Grand National board. You'll see what that looks like here in a second. Pace car is going to go to the top of a 2x2 board. Go to Race is going to go to the top of a 2x2 board, and 4 new spaces will open up underneath. That's the first thing that's going to happen. The second thing that's going to happen is the system is going to look, and it's going to say, okay, it's a follow your sponsor system. Who is supposed to go with Go to Race? Well, obviously, it's going to be Go to Race's sponsors, and the system looks up. Now, keep that in mind, okay? Go to Race sponsored Fun, and Go to Race sponsored Rev 180. Those are the 2 people that are going to end up going to that board. But a lot of people get confused on this. They say, well, I'm Team Fun, and Team Fun sponsored Mustang. So how come Team Fun and then Mustang didn't follow together? Well, they will follow together, okay? Because they're going to follow their sponsor. This is a typical perfect scenario board. In fact, I'll show you what that board will look like. Go to Race is here at the top. You see Fun on the left. You see Rev 180 on the right. Those are the 2 people that Go to Race sponsored. Those are the 2 people on their board. And now we have 4 available spots that are open at the bottom. People ask, how do these 4 available spots get filled? They get filled by several different methods. Number 1, the best and most effective way to get those spots filled is Fun needs to go out and get a checkered flag. Rev 180 needs to go out and get a checkered flag. When those two people get checkered, guess what? That board is now filled. Go to race will go to the Grand National Board, and fun and Rev 180 will then move to the top. They could get filled by overspill. Overspill meaning people coming that are sponsoring people while they're on the Grand National Board. I'll explain to you how that works here in just a second. They could get filled by people who are just randomly joining the company. They could get filled by the pace car landing on their board and everybody following the pace car. So there's a lot of different ways this position can get filled, but the fastest and most effective way is for fun and Rev 180 to go out and get a checkered flag. How do they do that? Go out and make a couple sales. Get a couple sales, get your board busted, get it split, and move on up to the Grand National Board. So those are the two people that are going to follow go to race. Now let's take another scenario, and this is the one that really confuses a lot of people sometimes. In this particular example, you got Tom at the top, you've got Sue Race on the left, and you got Mike Go. Let's just suppose and assume that this board has just split, Tom has now gone to the top, and these are the two people that he brought into the system. What's going to happen from this point forward? Well, let's take a look at this. Let's say that Sue Race decides to go out and make a personal sponsor. She has a referral, she's made a sale, and that person is called a Race Girl. That person will fill the first available spot, left to right, on the 4 line. You'll see that Sue Race's flag has already turned white. Then Race Girl says, well, I want to get a part of this. I want to be in on the action, so I'm going to go sponsor somebody. I'm going to sponsor my buddy. He's going to have a username called SciTeam. That's the person that she sponsored into the business. You can see that Race Girl's flag has now turned white. The next person to join is Ford Race. So Race Girl has really gotten busy here. She's gotten herself a checkered flag. She decided she wanted to maximize the income and the earnings that she can make here, so she went ahead and sponsored 2 people while she was on the national board, which is a great spot to do that, by the way, and now she has a checkered flag. The next person to join is Chev Race. And the reason that person was sponsored is because Sue Race now has a checkered flag. She doesn't want to go to the pay line with a white flag. She wants to maximize her earnings. So she sponsors somebody called Chev Race. So this is where a lot of people get confused. I want you to really pay attention to this because this right here probably causes more confusion than anything in the company. Understanding how the boards work, how they split, and why people go in certain directions. Okay? So here's what's going to happen. Tom is going to rotate off. He is going to go to a Grand National Board. He's going to follow his sponsor. If his sponsor is not there, he's going to go to his sponsor's board. Sue Race and Mike Go are going to go to the top of the national board. And they will have 2 people that will follow them, and 4 available spots will open up underneath. Here's where the confusion starts to set in for people. The system, first of all, says who's going to go to the top. It's going to be Sue Race and Mike Go, obviously. No jump feature. They're on the 2 line. What is that board going to look like? That board is going to look not like what you're seeing on your screen right now. This is the board right before it splits. So here you have Race Girl. Remember, Race Girl sponsored SciTeam and Ford Race. She has 2 people that she sponsored. But where is Race Girl going to go? Race Girl is going to follow her sponsor. Who was her sponsor? Her sponsor was Sue Race. So she's going to go to that board. Well, what the system does is it looks for the people that Sue Race sponsored. That's the ones that's going to follow Sue Race. Who are those people? These are those people, Race Girl and Chev Race. So when that new board gets generated, and when that new board appears on your screen, just as soon as you hit your refresh button, you're going to see a board that looks like this. It's going to be Sue Race at the top, Race Girl on the left, Chev Race on the right. Now I'm going to back up a little bit because this is where the confusion sets in. Race Girl wants to know, well, why in the world didn't SciTeam and Ford Race follow me? Because they're personal sponsors of mine. I thought this was a follow your sponsor system. Well, let's go back to the board. There's only 3 spots that can be filled. Sue Race, Race Girl, and Chev Race have filled those spots because Sue Race is on the pay line. So those people must follow their sponsor because she is the one on the pay line. Okay? Remember, the system always looks up and never looks left and right. Always looks up. You always follow your sponsor. So what happened to Race Girl's people? They went to the other board. They went to the other national board. Doesn't change a thing. No need to worry about that because when they come off of their national board, guess where they're going to go? They're going to go to the Grand National Board that Race Girl is on. That's where you get married right back up again. In fact, if Race Girl's not even on a national board, a Grand National Board, it's going to follow Race Girl's sponsors Grand National Board. Who would that be? Sue Race. So if Sue Race is going to a Grand National Board, then maybe your team, and this has happened to me, maybe some of your teammates have rotated off quicker than you did. Maybe they got on a board that moved a little bit quicker, some people that went to work quicker, some people that sponsored more people than others, whatever the case may be. They're going to follow their sponsor to the Grand National Board. If they're not there, they'll follow their sponsor's sponsor. If they're not there, they'll follow the pace car. If they're not there, they'll follow the lowest numbered Grand National Board. Again, this will make more sense once I kind of get to the Grand National Board portion of this. But that's the way the boards work, and that's where a lot of the confusion starts to set in because people don't understand how the boards work. Hopefully, you've got a better understanding of how the boards work, how they split, why people go in certain directions. But the key element that I want everybody to understand, especially those on my team, is to understand this. It doesn't matter where you go. As long as everybody's making their sales and everybody's getting themselves fully qualified, those boards will advance and you'll get married right back up again. A perfect example was the actual live board that I just showed you of mine. All of those personal sponsors landed on my board when they came off the Grand National Board because they're following their sponsor. Who's their sponsor? Me. And who am I following? I'm following my sponsor. So I will go to the Grand National Board that my sponsor's on. Let's talk a little bit about the Grand National Board, because this is another question that comes up quite a bit. If I'm on a Grand National Board and I decide to go sponsor somebody, where is that person going to go? Because we all know you have to start on a national board before you go to a Grand National Board. Here's how the system works. This is very simple, guys. Let's just say, for example, the Team Go decides to go out and sponsor someone else. They've only gotten one person sponsored, but they want to go ahead and get themselves fully qualified because their board is filled up. You can see this on the screen. And before they go to the pay line, they want to make sure that they maximize the pay plan. So they go out and they sponsor one other person. Now their flag is turned checker. Where does their person go? We'll call that person Race Man. Where is Race Man going to land at? Now here's how the system works. It looks down through your downline, and it looks to your personal sponsors. So let's say the Team Go had sponsored somebody by the name of, we'll just call him Billy. Billy was the guy that he sponsored that turned his flag white. So the system's going to look and say, where is Billy at? Is Billy on a national board? If he is, that's where we're going to drop the new person that you just sponsored. And we'll name him, well, actually, we already named him. We named him Race Man. So where is Race Man going to go? Race Man is going to follow on Billy's board. Well, what if Billy is not on a national board? Where's Race Man going to go? The next thing the system does is it looks for the next person that Team Go had sponsored. Well, since he only had a white flag, we know that he's only sponsored one person. There is no next person. So it then looks for the face card. Is the face card on a national board? If so, that's where it will place Race Man. If the pace car is not on a national board, it will then look where is the lowest numbered board in the company. We'll place Race Man on that board. That's the way the system is designed. And you need to understand that when you come into this so that there's no confusion. Make sure that your teammates are understanding this as you're starting to explain this to them. But that's the way the system works. Now let's take it to a little bit further extreme. Let's say that Team Go had, we'll just pick a number. We'll say maybe he had 7 people that he's personally sponsored. 7 people that he's brought into it. He was already checkered flag, but he just has so many friends and so many neighbors and so many acquaintances and knows just a lot of people that just, they want to make an income here. They see the simplicity of this and they see how simple it is, so they want to get involved. So he just continues to keep sponsoring people. Where are those people going to go? Well, the system's going to go in order. It's going to look through Team Go's downline. Who was the first person the Team Go sponsored? We'll call that guy Billy. It's going to look to see if Billy's on a national board. If not, it's going to go to the next person. Is Steve on a national board? Nope, he's not there either. Okay, now we're going to go to Race Man. Is Race Man on a national board? Okay, Race Man's on a national board. We're going to place that person that you just sponsored on their board again. That's a key factor here, guys, because what that does is that keeps your team closely connected together. It keeps everybody in line and keeps everybody following their sponsor. Here's the neatest thing about this, guys. You've got a chance here, and let's talk a little bit about the money. When you start to rotate through this, you've got an opportunity here to make $2,200. That's what you can earn here when you're fully qualified on a $230 purchase, coming all the way off of the national board, cycling through the Grand National Board. You don't have to cycle before you begin to make money. In fact, look at the board that's on your screen right now. Take Tom, for example. Tom, who's at the pay line, made $500 when Sherry landed there. He made $500 when Run Race landed there. He made another $500 when Jerry landed there. He made another $500 when Sue landed there. It doesn't matter if Tom knows who those people are, where they came from, if they're personal sponsors, or how they got there. He's making that money every time somebody lands on that spot. Here's the neatest thing about this, guys. This is what I love about this program. When Tom comes off of this Grand National Board, guess what? He gets to go right back through again. As long as he has his recycle button checked, the computer system will automatically deduct $230 from his earnings, leave him with $19.70 in profit. He'll come right back around again, land on a national board of his sponsor. That's who he's going to follow. Again, if he doesn't follow his sponsor, he's going to follow the pace car. If he doesn't follow the pace car, he's going to follow to the lowest numbered board in the company. Once he lands on that board, the whole process starts over again. And people ask all the time, how are these people getting through the system? How is that working? Well, guess who's going to follow Tom? All of his personal sponsors. In fact, let's just take a couple of names here. Let's say that perhaps maybe Tom has sponsored Mike and maybe Jerry. Maybe those are 2 people that he sponsored. Well, when they come off the Grand National Board, guess what national board they're going to land on? The same national board that Tom is on, which is Mike and Jerry. The one that Tom's on, Mike and Jerry are going to follow right back around to them. So that's how the system works. And again, the thing I want to stress the most, guys, is just let the system do what the system is designed to do. Literally, just let the system work the way it's supposed to work. It works flawlessly. Don't get hung up and shook up and shaken up and all confused about, trying to figure out how all these boards work. The system works perfectly. It works exactly like it's supposed to work. But just understand we have to go do what we're required to do, which is go out and share this with a couple people. One other thing that I want to talk about before I wrap this up, let's go back to the national boards, for example. Let me give you a little scenario here. This is a great example right here, okay? I want you guys to follow along with this. Let's say that Chevrace, in fact, Chevrace has landed in the 4th spot on the 4 line. That happens instantaneously. There's a lot of things that happen that you don't get a chance to see. When Chevrace lands in that last available spot, a lot of things happen. First of all, the board splits. The board's now full. Tom rotates off and goes to the Grand National Board. Chevrace will then go to the 2 line of the next national board. And all of this happens the moment that he makes his purchase and hits the enter button. This is the part of the screen that you don't get to see. So a couple of questions have come to me that have said, I don't understand. When I joined here, I joined and I started on the 2 line. Well, no, you didn't. That's impossible to do. It's just that you happen to land in the 4th available spot on the 4 line, and then instantaneously the board split. By the time you refresh your screen, you've seen yourself on the 2 line. That's the way the boards work. It's always been designed that way. It's been designed that way since day one. Nothing's ever changed. But that's our program, guys. It's a very simple program. There's nothing hard about this. It's just a matter of going out and sharing it with a couple of people. Again, great products, great value for the products, constantly adding new things into the back office, and it's just a great program for everybody to get involved with here. Certainly don't let $230 keep you from wealthy riches. Again, I'm not saying you're going to get rich here overnight, but it is one of the greatest platforms and programs that I've seen ever put together. I mean, having a no-jump feature, having a recycle yourself feature, having a follow your sponsor system, and one of the best things that I've seen compared to a lot of cyclists that are out there starting off on the 2-by-2. It just takes so few people to get boards busted to move you up through the system. So that's our program, and that's how it works, and hopefully this has been helpful for you, and hopefully you understand a little bit more about what this is about, how those boards operate. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next what this is about, how those boards operate. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next